my best friend.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
For my friends.
77 WABC.
At 8:35 on your Monday morning, back here on Sid and Friends in the morning. Curtis Sleeper was terrific, so was Scott Baio. Still to come, Alan Dershowitz, Mike Lawler, and I believe Kenya's coming on today, Gibson. We'll do Miranda Devine tomorrow. Okay, Lara Trump, she's coming on tomorrow. Going to try to get her to tell me she's taking Rubio's gig down there in the state of Florida. Talking about the state of Florida, I'm sitting with two magnificent people that are from the state of Florida, but I actually spent time with them in Jerusalem. All of you know, of course, about my incredible last trip to Israel. I had the amazing opportunity to meet the great Prime Minister, Bibi Netanyahu, and that was all because of Tila Falic, who's in studio with me right now, and her great dad, Simon. I love him, too, and her husband, Mo, and the kids. Everybody's great. And there's a lot of people there. It wasn't just the Falic family and Sid Rosenberg. And one of the guys I met is her brother-in-law, who's a star. He's got his own podcast. He's got some type of political title, too. I don't know, but he's a handsome guy and a smart guy. His name is Gabe Groisman.
There we go.
Now, what is that? What is that eye all about, Groisman? What is that?
Listen, who knows? A Russian family that moved to Argentina. Groisman, I think it means big man in Yiddish. And,
is that right?
Yeah, that's what it means.
So are you from Argentina?
My parents are from Argentina, yes. Yeah,
okay. That makes sense because I think we had some Argentinian diplomat there that night, too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You had the ambassador to Israel.
There you go. The ambassador to Israel from Argentina and also from one other spot.
From Panama.
Very good, yes. It was a star-studded evening, I got to tell you that.
And we had Sid Rosenberg.
Well, that was big, yes. You had me there twice. Actually, I was only in Israel for 6 nights, and 3 of the 6 I was with Tila because I was at her house the Tuesday night when we first met. Then the Thursday we did the midnight deal at the hotel, and then Saturday we broke the fast together. So it was basically the Falic trip.
So next time you just have to come from beginning to end and stay with us the whole time.
Listen, don't be careful. When you leave the milk out for the cat keeps coming back. Because I would love to stay by you. That's a gorgeous house, and you guys are incredibly hospitable. And everyone loves you. I'll get back to Gabe in a second, but you're with Tila, Mark Levin, David Friedman, who I'm still upset got passed over for ambassador. That's a whole other story. But as soon as I put the picture up of you and I together, all these really important people, really important people I love the Falics. I love Tila. I love Simon. I love your mom too, by the way. The whole deal. So you've touched a lot of people in your life, a lot.
It's the people that are doing good. We like to have something that's called Hakarat Tov and just say thank you and give them a little bit of strength to keep on doing good. And that's why you're included in that circle.
Thank you. It was, you're very inspiring. You are. And you're very, very sweet. And you're so nice. I never met you before. I'm walking around your house, take whatever you want. It's all you. So that's where I met you, Gabe. And it turns out you've got this very popular podcast. Now, Tila works with you on the podcast, right?
Yeah, Tila's the producer. She brings in all the guests. She makes sure everything is organized. And we started in January, and it's unbelievable. It's a political podcast focusing on all the stuff that you care about.
Okay, so has Bibi been on your podcast yet?
Not yet. That's a big one.
Okay, because I keep breaking her balls about her father. Because when I met Bibi that night, he goes, I'll go on your show. He goes, I go, yeah, but I've been calling Ron Dermer. I've been calling this guy, that guy. He goes, no. You call Simon. So every couple of weeks I text Tila. I know my pain in the ass. I go, tell your father to call Bibi, but I guess Bibi these days is
he's a little busy these days.
A little busy. Yeah.
And maybe out of contact with everybody, but he's doing what he needs to do.
Is he okay?
He's okay.
They bombed, if I'm correct, 2 of his 5 residences in the last couple of weeks.
He has 2 homes, one in Jerusalem and one in Caesarea.
Right.
And both were targeted.
Both were targeted. So he's, I guess, in hiding right now.
No, he's not. He's definitely not in hiding. He's out there. The attacks were nonsense attacks. There was one drone attack at the house that was blocked.
Yeah.
But look, he's managing a war, so media is not at the forefront for him right now.
He's managing a war is right. And for the longest time, that's basically we talked a lot about Trump too, but I spent a lot of time on this show daily talking about Israel. I went back twice, obviously, and it was all we talked about. And then Trump won. And we know how much Trump loves Israel, how good he was to Israel. And that conversation kind of stopped. And every now and then we have to remind people there are still hostages there, and there's still a war going on 3 different fronts. And Iran is still a massive enemy, even though Trump's going to come back and punch him across the face. But it seems like, at least right now, because Trump won, not Trump's fault, that the Israel thing is kind of in the background here.
Yeah, look, people have forgotten 101 hostages, like you said, but who hasn't forgotten, and the people who are paying attention, are the bad actors in the region. Iran, Qatar, etc. Qatar threw out the leadership of Hamas this week, threw them out of Doha. We've been pushing them to do that since the beginning of this war. They didn't give a damn because they knew Biden wouldn't do anything. They threw them out. They went to Turkey. It's crazy. Turkey's a NATO ally, supposedly.
Yeah, right.
It's supposed to fight against terrorism.
Please.
Now they're hosting the leadership who's holding 7 Americans hostages and another 93 or 94 Israelis.
Let me remind people that Erdogan is in charge there in Turkey. He hates the Jews like Hitler. He's bad. So I'm always skeptical. I know you kind of said it sarcastically, too, of people out there that like us, that care about us. So what do you think? What do you think happens now? Trump wins. We know what Trump has done in the past. Embassy to Jerusalem, recognizing the Golan Heights, no more cash at 3 o'clock in the morning to Palestinians, which went right to Hamas, the Abraham Accords, no more Iran deal. He did all that. Okay, we know how great he is. What do you think happens now that he won?
Yeah, first thing he does is he shuts off the money to Iran. Shutting off the money to Iran shuts off the money to Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, which are their proxies, immediately. We got to bring peace to the region. We got to bring quiet to the region. The only way to do that is to choke Hamas financially and militarily. The U.S. can do that. They can do the same with Hezbollah and Lebanon. We're going to see that. Having Mike Huckabee, who you spoke about, Governor Mike Huckabee, be the new ambassador to the region. Home run pick. We know there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Palestinians. Biden this week sent $2.1 billion to the Palestinians. Thinks no one's going to be paying attention. That's going to stop, like you said. It's got to stop quickly. And if they want money from the U.S., if they want support from the U.S., they got to get in line.
You like the Mike Huckabee pick?
I love the Mike Huckabee pick.
So you'd rather have him there than bringing back Friedman? Is it because he's not Jewish and that could help in terms of negotiations?
So I don't know if rather than. I think they'd both be amazing. Friedman's a friend. He's a superstar ambassador. I can't think of an ambassador that was as impactful as he was. So I know he's going to be amazing. But look, we can't forget we're living in a time with the worst anti-Semitism in history since the 1930s in the United States. We're going to have the most pro-Israel president back in the White House January 20th, pushing things for Israel. I'd much rather have a Christian be the ambassador so people can see that it's not just a Jewish issue, Israel, right? There's a lot of people, there's millions of people, Christians in particular in this country, who support Israel. And Mike Huckabee is the face of that.
This is Gabe Groisman and Tila Falic live here in studio on this Monday morning. Alan Dershowitz, Kenya Gibson, and we're also going to talk to Mike Lawler, the great congressman out of Rockland County, still to come. Lara Trump will be here tomorrow, and Larry's trying to get that Marco Rubio position. Rubio is now the Secretary of State. You guys live down in Florida. I lived there for 16 years, lived in Boca. When I was there, Rick Scott was the governor, not Ron DeSantis. Now he's a big-time senator. But all this talent, as we talked about during the break, coming from the state of Florida, no surprise. It's the best state in the country. Bottom line, anybody who argues that just doesn't know. And you guys happen to live there. What do you think about the possibility of Lara taking over for Marco Rubio?
Look, there's obviously a lot of rumblings about Lara wanting that position and Trump wanting her to have that position. We haven't heard him say that, but that's all over the news. Look, we have an embarrassment of riches in Florida when it comes to Republican politics. We've got a deep bench, lots of people who could take that position and do a fantastic job. It's up to only one person, though, which is Governor Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
He's got the ability to appoint someone for 2 years. And he can appoint himself too, so we'll see where that goes.
What is? Do you have like a political title down there? I thought I read something.
I was the mayor of Bal Harbor for 6 years.
You were the mayor of Bal Harbor?
I was the mayor. Yeah,
it's a spectacular place.
Yeah, small but beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous there. My childhood memories. We would always stay down Tila like this, down by Collins Avenue when the motels were a big deal. So we drive down and we stay like the Colonial Mansion or the Aztec or, Marco Polo was a big deal back then.
It's still there.
It's still there.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, when we were there one time, some guy jumped off the roof. They had an ice skating rink inside, too, which was crazy. So, anyway, the big deal was we stayed down there on Collins Avenue, but my mother would always want to go to shop at Bal Harbor. And as a kid, I hated it because we couldn't go to the pool. We couldn't go to the beach. We had to walk around the mall in Bal Harbor, you know. So anytime that came up, I was like, oh, God. But, of course, on a serious note, it is a gorgeous place. And you guys live there. And
we were born and raised.
You were born and raised there?
I was. Gabe came in a little bit later.
Where'd you come from?
I'm from Miami, born and raised, but
Miami.
I moved to Bal Harbor in 06.
What kind of mayor was Gabe Groisman, be honest?
Honestly.
Better than Eric Adams?
Honestly,
yeah.
He was amazing. Really. I have so many complaints now and I have nobody to talk to. I need to deal with things at the park or I need to deal with things with parking. We have a lot of traffic, a lot of construction. Gabe did a good job.
Oh, you did. So, any feel like you want to get back into politics in some capacity?
Look, I'm always hungry to get back into politics, but I'm not embarrassed to say I've got 5 kids. Got to take care of them. 5 girls.
5 girls?
5 girls.
In the state of Florida.
My God.
I got to take care of them. I work in politics. I work in government. Yeah. Whenever the right time is, I'll jump back in. But
5 girls.
For now, we've got great leadership. Yes, 5 girls.
I've got one daughter. I have one son, Gabriel, but my daughter's coming home from college Thursday, and I miss her. I love my daughter. She's brilliant. She's smart. She's beautiful like a mother. But when she's home, I'm scared to death. Just so you know, I'm scared to death. I'm going to say something she doesn't like. We don't agree.
Move to Florida. You can buy guns.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of my daughters. I'm afraid of the boyfriends.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm afraid of dealing with that stuff.
I'm not afraid of any guy on the planet. I'm not afraid of Hamas, to be honest with you. But my daughter scares the hell out of me. I mean, she's tough. So Trump wins. Did you celebrate? What did you do? Have you done the Trump dance, for example?
For sure, I've done the Trump dance.
Is it on video? I put mine on video today.
We could do it together. We could do it together after the show. I was there in Palm Beach. I was there at the convention center.
Oh, you were there?
At the victory party. Yeah,
nice.
It was just an amazing night.
Nice.
Just the excitement in the room. At 12:45, Kamala sent out an email to her followers to go home, that we'll find out what happens tomorrow. That moment we knew we won. And it was just pure joy.
And then you see some of these other appointees, New Yorkers, a lot of Florida people, and Jewish people. You've got Lee Zeldin. He's running the APA now. You got the spectacular Elise Stefanik, who's now in charge. She's the ambassador to the UN. So I know he's getting some heat for Pete Hegseth, a lot of heat for Matt Gaetz, some heat for RFK Jr. I mean, there's a little bit of heat for these people, but for the most part, you'd have to agree, it's a young, exciting, and slap in the face to what we used to in Washington, D.C., which is old, decrepit Democrats.
Which he's actually draining the swamp.
Right.
Everyone talks about draining the swamp. That's exactly what he's doing.
Exactly
and
right.
Bringing new blood and bringing new energy. It makes it exciting, but it also brings new ideas and new energy to a place that hasn't had it in a long time.
Couldn't agree more. I'm sick of the Nancy Pelosi's and Chuck Schumer's and Bernie Sanders, and get rid of these people. These are terrible people.
Yeah, unbelievable. Listen, first of all, those.
By the way, that's Chuck Schumer.
Folks,
that's Chuck Schumer's office right there. He's directly across the street.
Can we throw eggs from here? It doesn't reach.
Yeah, we've had all kinds of rallies outside this building, everything. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm saying we've had almost all of them on the podcast in the last few months. Got a chance to speak to all of them from
the Democrats.
No, from Elise Stefanik.
Oh, right.
To actually Mike Lawler, who you're having on, was on also a few weeks ago. Marco Rubio.
Nice.
Lee Zeldin. And you hear these people with their ideas and their energy, like Tila's saying, and that's what we need. That's what we need in Washington, and everybody's excited. Doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter how they voted. If you speak to anyone in the business community in the United States of America, they're excited for this administration.
What day of the week do you drop the podcast?
Usually on Sunday mornings.
Sunday morning. So, you is it live or you tape it during the week?
We tape it during the week.
Tape it during the week.
Drop it Sunday morning.
I know your studio's right there in Bal Harbor in Florida?
In Wynwood, in the Arts
District. Oh, yeah, Wynwood, sure. Absolutely.
When are you coming? We got to keep it hip. For you.
Well, coming December 24th.
Okay, and, so you're going to be on the show.
I want to be on the show.
We'd love to.
During that trip, I'll come on the show. I can't. Obviously, you're probably not doing the podcast. Christmas is the next day. When is Hanukkah this year?
It lands on Christmas.
Same day?
Yeah.
December 25th.
It's a year of unity.
That is unbelievable. Yeah, because usually Pesach and Easter are close.
All the stars are aligning for us.
Yes.
This is the year of success for everybody in the United States and in Israel.
I think you're right. Well, you're both amazing people. I love you guys in Israel. It's so nice to see you here in New York. You both look great. You're both very good-looking people, by the way. Very good-looking. And you're both brilliant and smart and lovely. And thank you for stopping in today. We'll do this again very, very soon. Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Me too. How was your steak last night at Cut? Was that good?
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Highly recommended.
You do, right?
There's a new restaurant called Reserve Cut.
Reserve Cut,
Midtown. It's amazing.
It's right here. It's close to my office, yeah.
It's time for them to advertise on Sid in the Morning. What's going on? What's going on?
We'll hook you up.
That's Gabe Groisman and the lovely Tila Falic right here.